Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 6. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report, where once again it is time to have a closer look back from the last week, see actually what happened on the Forex market. Especially there's been a lot of volatility going on in the past week. We're also going to have a look at all the other stuff that we normally cover in this particular news report. And we have some very good news for you if you're already following some of our EAs. Looks like there is some good record-breaking numbers this particular week. Some is for the week, other ones is basically for 2025. And there's even other ones that has the all-time high so far that we've been trading. We're going to go through all of it, of course, as usual in here. So it has been a decent week for the copy link service in here. But that is also because, again, a lot of volatility, as long as there is retracement, actually cashes in quite well on these profit retrieval EAs. And we are talking about the RSI, the Wave Liberator, Hedge EA, Lucky Trader, and also the Bell Trader that we have in here. All these ones have basically cashed in quite nicely. There is, however, a few on the RSI and Wave Liberator, especially on the US dollars, that are still hanging. They're still hanging in drawdown. And obviously, again, they have been for quite a while. Hopefully soon they will get out of it here. So it all depends on, of course, what is going to happen in the US with some of all the trade wars in here. At the moment, Canada and Mexico has been put on hold for about 30 days. So you do have a chance maybe to lower your inputs on the US dollar in here, maybe take some of the EAs away until you figure it out, or maybe do the gap a bit bigger, lot size a bit smaller. Again, the Chinese one is going to go ahead with the 10% tax, and there also seems to be some tit for tat in here. Now, tit for tat is not something that we use on the copy link service. We're going to have a look at that in detail again here. As usual, we have found the top 5 in here, our top 5s that we are looking at. We know that Expert Forex and Alex does the same. We are using some lower criteria this week because a lot of the EAs are doing really well. And we're going to give you also a tip here, so of exactly what you can do apart from getting even better results than what you see here. And obviously on our website, everything that is covered in this particular video here, we also have on the website again, especially as you can see on the screen here, some of the new EAs with the Bell Trader, now trading that one for a couple of months. We have the Hedged EA that is doing extremely well also, and definitely that one has a new all-time high, but is also very new. And then we have the Lucky Trader that also seems to be cashing in quite well. All of these, and obviously also the Trade Explorer that has now been on for more than 1.5 years, still going strong on the 10 pair one. I'm going to have a look at all of it in this video here, of course. And we're also going to have a closer look at Alex and Expert Forex on a couple of videos that he sent out this week. Again, for the $1 million trading EA, there is a link in there. Seems to be missing something from what I can see from the forum at the moment, but obviously we're going to cover it anyway here for now. I'm sure everything will be sorted out quite shortly. Now, unfortunately, I have no news when it comes to Yieldnodes. Once again, it is very quiet. There's no updates, no information, no direct details on a timeline for Yieldnodes by Steve and Woods in here. But what we are normally doing is having a look at the coin audit reserves to see what is actually moving and what's not. We've done that also here for week 6. And one of the things we noticed in here is pretty much there's no new masternodes running. You can see the numbers are the same from last week in here, and also both the PNY and the SAP that we are following here at the moment. The masternode balance, yes, they have gone up. We can see that, but there's no new masternodes. You can see 259 in here for PNY, same as last week, 3,855, also the same here. And also for all the other ones, the 777 in here, 3547, still the same thing also. So again, a bit of disappointing news, no real updates. But on the SAP coin side here, we actually have some movements. If you remember from last week's news report, it was completely flat. There was no buying, no selling. Seems to have just jumped up a bit, at least here. so to get started. So that's actually quite nice to see that there's some movement, but let's not get too enthusiastic here. So it is still very, very low volumes we are talking about here. And again, coin value is also absolutely rock bottom. But there is some good news, and that is our SAP staking seems to be taking off again. I did mention here on last week's news report, you can see here we got one in on the 2nd of February. So that was a new number of 154.35. Now that has changed again. So every single time we're staking, at the moment we're getting 146.65. And we actually got almost 180 SAP in here for this particular week. So that's actually a 2.6%. So very nice. As you'll notice, nothing in January. And then all of a sudden, big spike in here on the SAP coins, 1,034 so far. So it looks like it's going well now again for this. Let's hope it's going to continue also in the next couple of weeks and months to come. PNY, that has also really rocketed. So in 2025. And also again this week here, we're cashing in quite nicely with 1,197 PNY. So that's another 3.5%. But let's not kid ourselves. Again, the value is very low. But of course, it is very nice to see that this is moving forward overall. And it is also, of course, as usual, very much linked. Maybe not so much the Decenomy coins at the moment, but they are linked with the Bitcoin versus USDT. So normally whatever Bitcoin goes up, the rest of the crypto market does the same. And in here, we noticed last week that we got to about 96,400. Since then, we actually went through the glass ceiling again of 100,000 up to about 102. Then we dropped again here below and trading sideways at the moment. So it looks like something in the crypto market is not positive, not negative, simply just sailing along. At the moment, the price is around 97,702 as we're shooting this particular video here. Now, the Trade Explorer never stands still, always cash it in quite nicely. That is also why this particular one in here is one of the most copied signals at all. For week 6, it did $468 or 4.7%. And again, we're talking about a week in here. So very good results overall. We can see the graph and we can see the history, 634 days. So it's really counting up and racking up, getting close soon to the 2 years where it's simply just cashing in nicely. We started this one off with $10,000 and we are now close to the 52,000 in balance. The good part, and that's why a lot of people copy it, I believe, is the floating profit and loss. Most of the time it's low, like here, minus $30. And it does have its peak and its drawdowns from time to time, but you can actually accommodate that with the lot factor that you copy in here. You can actually lower that to half the size and then you are pretty safe. Or you can actually go in and put more money in the account instead. It's entirely up to you. That's why the coupling service is so great. You can adjust it to exactly fit your needs, either money-wise or risk-wise in here. Because look at the numbers that we have. So these are quite good. And for this week, 468, you can see compared to the previous weeks, 240, 384, 542. So this one here is not the one breaking any records for this particular week, or actually for this particular year. That we had last year with 5,190. And this is the one also where we had a huge spike in drawdown. Then it reversed and cashed in big time like this particular EA does. The Wave Liberator, that has also gone a bit higher. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video in here, the US dollar market in here on the Forex and also all the indexes, stocks here had a huge rise and drop. First a drop and then a rise here afterwards with the Great British Pounds USD had the same. And that's why we cashed in so much, $126 or 12.6% for the week. So the volatility in here is something that the profit retrieval EAs are really enjoying. So it creates drawdowns, yes, but once you have the reversal, cashes in quite nicely. New Zealand Japanese at $63 or 6.3%. Another Japanese with the Swiss Japanese here, $50, 5%. And then Aussie Japanese, $45, 4.5% with Aussie CAD, $41, 4.1%. And the total one in here, $325, if you would have traded those 5 in here, and you would have made 6.5% for the week. You'll also notice here that the Japanese yen is still something we very much trade. We have changed a lot of items in here, and that's why this is still a very good signal. You'll see it cashing in quite nicely, even though it can be a bit more trendy. We're also going to have a look at the entire portfolio again. We started off with 22 accounts of $10,000. Balance is now up to 260. We have that floating profit and loss we talked about. It is only a few of the accounts that have created this issue. Again, it stems back from the US dollar when things are going sideways back in September, October. And since then, it hasn't come out of the drawdown here. That is why the number is so high. The rest of them are extremely low. History 538 days, so it is tracking well, and also with good trade wins of 67.8% overall. And that's also why you'll find pretty much all of them, apart from the CAD Swiss francs. We have to put that on the copy link service at the next opportunity, because that one is also cashing in a bit better now. So it was doing okay, but the profits was a bit low. Seems like now things are coming a bit better, especially January was a low one. Go and have a look and click any other links, and they'll tell you a lot more about the drawdowns and the risk, everything else in there. In the meantime, we're going to have a look at the overall profits. So this was the highest that we had for 2025 on this particular EA, 706. So you can see we have to go quite far back. We have to go back all the way to November to find anything bigger. So that is very nice after a couple of sort of lean weeks in here. 341, 352, 372, so very stable. And then again, the volatility week, 706, cashing in quite nicely. So very well done. Same thing for the RSI Liberator for week 6 on the top 5 in here. Great British Pounds, Japanese. You'll notice again, Japanese is definitely in here this week. $93, 9.3% for the week. Yes, I'll take that. Euro Great British Pounds, $77, 7.7%. And then Aussie Japanese did $63, 6.3%. With Great British Pounds USD, $51, 5.1%. And then followed by Aussie USD. So again, USD in also here quite a few times, very volatile. $40, 4%. And then overall, if you would have traded those 5 on a $1,000 account each, you would have made $324, 6.5% overall. And also here, similar to what you had on the Wave Liberator, floating profit and loss, again, 19,400, balance 244,000. So again, equity is in plus, but we need to get rid of this particular one here. So hopefully we'll get some market retracements very, very soon. This is at the moment, especially on the US Canadian, all-time high, or was actually last week here on Monday. So hopefully it can only go one way now. Pips, a lot of pips taken. We also see trade wins is also nice and high here, 65.9%. We have history of 307 days. So also here, good and stable results. We're missing about 2 months, and then this will also been going for a year. And as you see, we have now also on the coupling service, we're adding more and more of the RSI in here. They are doing quite well, apart from what I mentioned, a few of the US dollar in here, where we cannot implement the new settings until it actually comes out of the old trades. That is one of the pains with these particular profit retrieval robots. Again, the same numbers, nice looking graph in here. Also here we see some record profits for 2025 with 547 compared to previous. So this looks very much like the Wave Liberator, 332, 270, 297. And we have to go all the way back again here to the mid of December to find some similar results. So at least it's good. We have new all-time highs also for this particular EA for 2025. And as we mentioned in here, we have support on our website where you can find all these EAs, both the Wave RSI Liberator and also the new Hedged EA. All of these, you simply go to portfolio of opportunities and then you decide which EA you want to have a closer look at. We have a lot of details in there. And if you click on the Hedged EA, you actually get to this particular numbers in here. Obviously, there's a lot more on the site than just this one, but this is our weekly profits for the Hedged EA, and it has done extremely well. The US CAD, which was the volatile one I discussed last week, moved about 200 pips in here, and then it retraced afterwards, and that's what the results is for. When you don't have open trades already, $131, 13.1% in just 1 week. Wow. Aussie USD, $86, 8.6%. Then Great British Pounds, AUD, $75, 7.5%. Euro USD, $72, 7.2%. And then Euro CAD, $69, 6.9%. So very, very high percentage numbers. As you can see, it's doing extremely well, the Hedged EA, $432, 8.6%. So this is definitely by far a very nice results. And if we have a look at the portfolio overall, the drawdown is also very low. You can see the balance. We have 16 accounts, $10,000 each. Floating profit and loss, even though it has been a very volatile week. In here, 1,833. Close profits is a bit less, 1,500. But we're used to having this dragging behind with the floating profit and loss. So it's doing quite well. We can also see the monthly returns is 1.5%. Or if you scale it down to $1,000, it would be 15% on average for the portfolio. That is pretty much the highest one we have running at the moment, even better than the Lucky Trader. Also look at the trade wins in here, 72%, very nice and high. Trades per day, a good average, about 20. History, of course, we only have 3 weeks of history, but again, they are set up very similar to our new system all the way through. That really seems to work. It seems to take care of the drawdown. And that's also why you go on our website, you can find all these that can be traded on $1,000 accounts. You can go and have a look at them. They will lead you to FX Blue. And then you can see if this is something for you, which ones are the ones that we are having the best results on, and you can take on. Or you can wait, of course, until the first ones come on the copy link service. We'll still wait with that for another couple of weeks or a month, and then we'll slowly but surely feed them into the system here if Alex will allow it. So far, we have also a new all-time high for that particular one. You can see how much that jumped with, again, the volatility of the market. Started off with $201 for the first week, but that was only 8 EAs also. Then we actually doubled that for 435. And now really taking off this particular week in here with 880. So very good. Definitely catching everything that the market is throwing at it and still having an extremely low drawdown. That's what we like to see. The same thing for the Lucky Trader for week 6, the top 5 EA also doing extremely well. And again, you will notice here also a lot of dollar signs in here, US dollars in between. For the Euro USD, cashing in $180, 18% just for the week. So very nice. Great British Pounds USD, $149, 14.9%. Euro Great British Pounds, $92, 9.2%. And then Great British Pounds CAD, $20, 9%. CAD Swiss francs, $66, 6.6%. And an all-time high here also again for 2025. $577 on the top 5 with 11.5%. So very nice. This is what people are really happy about after a month. The Lucky Trader did it in just a week. And again, here we have the portfolio in here. So also 16 accounts of $10,000 each. You can see the floating profit and loss has actually gone up from prior weeks. It's 6,000. Close profit 6,800. So hopefully that will stay that way as it should be. And then we'll have a closer look and see for the total returns, monthly returns 1.3. You can see it's a bit lower than what we just had on the Hedged EA. So that will be 13% when you trade all these signals on $1,000 accounts. Trade wins here is also slightly lower, 69.9%, so 70%. Trades per day, a bit more, 24, so it's quite active. And then a history now of 99 days. So again, more than 3 months of trading. And that is also why we're going to start putting these on. You'll notice that you already have some of the ones in here on the copy link service. We'll obviously add more as we have a look and basically introduce some of the best ones. Not all at once. We will only normally get somewhere around 4, 6 or 8 EAs in here per month with Alex. And then obviously we'll take the best ones and then move on for the next ones or adjust as we see fit. Now the overall number we have here. So again, I told you about record breaking, definitely record breaking. 888 on the portfolio in here is the best for 2025. It is only surpassed by the first week where we had all 16 up and running, but this was right around the basically the results for the presidential election in the US, where we saw also heavy volatility in here. That's the first week we put it on, and actually cashed in quite nicely. I believe the date was around the 5th and the 6th, where we had some heavy volatility in here, cashing in. But again, definitely the highest number. So for 888 for 2025, extremely good numbers. Very, very happy with this EA2. And also the bell trader is actually growing on us. The results are getting better and better. We are adjusting it on a weekly basis to make sure that we get the best out of it. And again, here the top 5, Euro, Great British Pounds, $132, 13.2%. So again, massive profits here for this particular week. US CAD, $111, 11.1%, with Aussie USD, $76, 7.6%, Euro Swiss francs, $75, 7.5%, and then followed by the Great British Pounds CAD, $58, 5.8%, with a total of the top 5 EAs here, $552 or 9% for the week. And again, all of them seems to be doing extremely well in this new volatile market. We're going to have a closer look, and you'll notice the first thing actually here, apart from the 16 accounts of $10,000, floating profit and a loss is actually less than the close profit in here. So that is a bit unusual for these retrieval versions. So that again has also shown that the bell trader has a low drawdown and seems to be working quite well. We had some problems with the profits in the beginning. Seems to be coming in now. It's slowly but surely rising. So the monthly returns for the entire portfolio in here is 0.7% on $10,000 accounts. If you switch that over to 1,000, well, you're going to get 7%. Weekly returns around 2, but look at the trade wins in here, 74.4%. That is what you actually want. Profit factor, quite good. And then trades per day, there's not so many trades, and that's also why there you have a bit lower at the end profit, only 8 per day, and then with a history of 70 days, so it's doing quite well. And maybe if we're gonna have these results here in the future, you can go on our website soon and then find also the first ones of the bell trader that we're gonna put on the coupling service. We might gonna put just a few of them. We know that some of them are doing really well, other ones still not fully optimized yet. We'll have to see what's going to happen, but the issue is actually not drawdown. The issue here is actually more the profits, and you'll see the profits since we started off. So these are all the weeks: 143, 252, 333. Very disappointing around Christmas, 86, and then between Christmas and New Year's, 171. Again, drop in the beginning of January to 62, 111, 413, 308, and now here. Not only the biggest number we have for 2025, but the overall biggest profit so far with the bell trader, 648. So that's what we like to see. So very happy with what has happened in this particular week here with all our EAs. Now, obviously, we're talking about settings. We are talking about having the right details in here. And one of the things with Alex and Expert Forex is they do supply clients with more than 14,000 robot settings every 2 months. We have also used them in the past. But again, you then have to adjust them, and you have to make sure that they work for you on your broker. And there's a lot of different details that goes into this particular one in here. You'll see more on that particular video. I'll make sure that there is links in it. But I normally take this as inspiration to see which ones are the optimized ones. So again, similar to when you are doing Lotto or anything else, It doesn't work very well using last week lotto numbers. They're not going to come out this week. So you're going to have a look at the trend instead, see which ones are actually the ones that are popping up, which are the ones that are consistent. That's what it's all about. Also, the other video here that Alex has made, and he's made a post on it, is the $1 million trading. So downloading the free maximum lot trading robot. There is a link in here, but as I told you, seems to be some details missing. Maybe it's just the website at the moment. Maybe it's not the video itself, but definitely I'll guide you in that direction anyway, just so you can have a closer look, see what is coming in 2025. And as I mentioned here many times, when you're talking about the settings, when you also what Alex is talking a lot about is how to basically get started as a new trader. So you set up, and in this particular case, it's always MT4 that we are using, but most of the EAs are running on. We certainly like MT4 better than MT5. Has a nice layout, but some of the testing is a bit rubbish sometimes. And then you can follow the wheel in here for all the different optimization and monitoring. This is what we do on a weekly basis, even sometimes on a daily basis, depending on what happens in the market. And then you should get the best EAs. So when we talk about the best EAs, these are, for example, the ones on the coupling service. And you can obviously click the top 5. You'll get Alex's top 5 in here, which ones he thinks are best. We do it a bit differently, so you get another angle of how you can use the data. So what we do, again, we have an Excel that Alex sends out, an update. You can see the last update was 8th of February. So it comes out normally over the weekend. We go in, have a look, adjust floating profits, clear everything that is above 300, because most people want to actually use $1,000 accounts, not $10,000 accounts, but it is entirely up to you. This is just the setup we are using. We also have the total negative weeks in 8 weeks, can be more than 300, so it needs to be extremely low on the drawdown. And then return on total drawdown also has to be minimum 200. And then we get all these numbers in here. The ones in red that we have highlighted, this is our signals. And the other ones are other traders that are out there. And you can see 146, as we talked about. This is the Trade Explorer, floating profit and loss. It might not always be correct. It depends on how far it actually goes back. So always go and have a closer look for the drawdowns. FX Blue is not very good at recording the drawdowns correctly. So you should always go and check the individual links anyway, but it's a very good guideline in here. Best week in the last 8 weeks, 53, and then gains in the last 8 weeks. We always do that high to low. These are the top 12 in here, and you can see it goes from 15 all the way up to 77. Again, this is not the balance. This is the equity. So that's why you'll find some of the numbers to be a bit bigger. So if it was the balance, most of them will be closer to what we have and what you've seen on the top 5 also, somewhere around 10-20% as some of the best ones. And again, you can watch the gains also here, because this is a $10,000 one. You can see it's made huge gains, 7,662. And the other ones are actually also doing very good gains in here, but they are $1,000 accounts. So you can see again, 38%, $380 on a $1,000 account is definitely worth taking into consideration, especially when negative weeks you have minus $59 only, and total return on total drawdown 641, for example. Very nice. You have some even better numbers on the other ones, but this gives you a very good idea of what to look for, and then go on the individual links, click them to see if you're actually happy with it. You might have some again here, and we're going to go to the second part. So this is the full list, not just the top 5, but with the same search criteria in here. Again, we have highlighted all our links in here so you can follow them. And you'll notice that the gains in the last 8 weeks, some of them are in red. It's not like they're in minus. They are still in plus, so 9%, 10%, and 11%. And again, in here, you can obviously go and say, well, these are not very good. Of course they are. If you have a look at it, you can see total negative weeks in 8 weeks, minus $3, minus 11, for example, in here. And you can see the return on the total drawdown is extremely good. All you have to do is go and click the links again, figure out if 10% is not enough. You can basically double your lot factor in here, means that you are winning or profiting twice as much as I would on that particular link in here, but the drawdown will also go up. But it's a chance that you take at the end of the day. If you think that this has a particular low drawdown, you can see that it has that for the past couple of weeks, or even the 8 weeks, 2 months in here. Then that is definitely one that you can increase the lot factor, maybe 1.5, or if you want to gamble, you can go to 2 or 3, whatever you want. Or if you find something that are making a lot of money, like you have with link 146, saying, wow, this is doing well, but I know it has some risk involved also with high drawdowns, then you take the profit factor in here. Instead of 1 to 1, you put it down to 0.5, and then basically you should now be at a lot better level where you can manage your risk if something is there, or you can put it on a smaller account. It's entirely up to you. So this is what we had for you in this week's news report. As you can see, the EAs are going strong. They are getting more and more stable, and definitely also the drawdown has actually come down dramatically. So with the changes that we made at the end of last year in here, profit is still very much there. We are still doing the slow and steady, so basically wins the race in here. As long as we can do somewhere around 5 to 10% a month, we are very, very happy. We know that some of the EAs are doing even more. That's quite fine, as long as we can keep the drawdown under control. All we want to see here now is that the last EAs that are coming good, hopefully again here regarding the US dollar in here, and that especially the RSI and the Wave Liberator. So if we get them back into a shape where they can close off the old trades and start on the new project in here, it will be very nice for us to see how they operate and work in the future. Definitely all the other currency pairs have taken the settings here into good consideration. They are working very, very well at the moment, and that's also why you see a lot of our signals on top of the copy link service, even though that some of the ones are a bit higher than ours. Don't forget, this is the equity, so that also means sometimes when the copy link service have some that actually goes to the top, have a look at the drawdown. If they don't have a big drawdown, then obviously this is a very good signal. There's other ones than just ours out there. The traders are starting to get their head wrapped around the profit retrieval version. And obviously we want to introduce a few new ones also in 2025. We have our eyes set on one already. We will have to see when we can actually introduce that. But as usual, it's going to take us a couple of months to test it, to try it, put it on demo accounts until we are ready to actually release it at the end of the day to show you if this actually works or not. You know the drill. You have seen us try other EAs in the past, some of them that we battled with, similar to the money tree in here. We tried a lot of different things. We took currencies away, we added other ones, and at the end of the day, it didn't really matter what we did. If we did go out and then increase the lot size in order to cover the cost, it will blow. If we actually lowered it, it will still have some issues. So obviously some will never really work for the system itself, but definitely, as you can see in here, we have more than 90 EAs here now that are running constantly on VPS servers here, and they are running on the highest specs that we can actually get our hands on in here. And that's also why so many enjoy the copy link service in here. They can adjust their profits and the risk also themselves. They don't have necessarily to go with what we have to offer. They can go and lower it or raise it, whatever they want at certain periods of time. That is what's great about that particular service. And you keep your money to yourself at any given point. So that's all what I have for this week's news report. Hopefully you'll tune in next week again, where we will have more news updates and hopefully also even more profit. So until then, see you around. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.